Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Paraspar Special Lecture Series organized by the Office of Communications, Indian Institute of Science. In this series, we invite speakers who have made an extraordinary mark in their field of work to speak and interact with us. Today, we are glad to have Dorje Angchuk, who is as much a passionate astrophotographer as much an astronomer. Before we begin, let me give a brief introduction of the speaker. Dorje Angchuk is with the Indian Institute of Astrophysics. He is the engineer in charge of the IIA's Indian Astronomical Observatory in Hanle, Ladakh. Angchuk has become the first and the only Indian to be inducted as an honorary member of the International Astronomical Union, joining a select list of 20 international experts from around the world. This honor is meant to officially recognize those individuals who have significantly contributed to the progress of astronomical research and culture in their country. This recognition by the International Astronomical Union is for his passionate promotion of astronomy in Ladakh region through his excellent astrophotography. Angchuk's astrophotographs combine the majestic beauty of dark skies with the stunning landscape of Ladakh. The uniqueness of his work is that they situate the terrestrial landscape against the starry skies, thus seeming to bring the cosmos down to earth. His work has been published in the New Yorker magazine, Association of Asia Pacific Physical Societies, to name a few. His photographs of the comet Neowise won the nationwide contest by the Astronomical Society of India. Dark skies are now recognized as a part of humanity's heritage. Angchuk has been in the forefront of the campaign for safeguarding the pristine dark skies of Hanle and its surrounding, and in incorporating this with the local development, including the promotion of astrotourism. We now request Dorje Angchuk to please deliver his lecture.
Thank you for the introduction. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, and thank you very much for inviting me here. And it's a very much honor to be here and giving this talk on the starry skies of Hanle Dark Sky Sanctuary. So I'll share my screen. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope I have not bothered you with that in the whole holy holiday. The topic of my talk is like the wonder of starry skies and the Hanle Dark Sky Reserve. Nowadays, with the flip of a switch, we can change days into night and night into days. We can change thoughts, we can change weather, we can change emotions. And star-filled evening once used to be our evening time entertainment, but now it is Netflix, Tata Sky, YouTube, etc. So I will be talking about the dark sky reserve and the starry skies, wonders of the starry skies through my talk. So the capturing people's inherent interest in the mysterious has always provided the drive for scientists and tourism through ages. So you can see the night hides a world but reveals a universe. Here you can see the Himalayan Chandra telescope of IAO, Indian Astronomical Observatory, with the beautiful night sky that we can see there. So, what do we have at the Indian Astronomical Observatory, which is a field station of the Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore? We have this wonderful 2-meter class telescope at a hillock that is called the Dikparatsa, and basically the Dikparatsa means a scorpion mountain. So the shape of the mountain is like a scorpion. This telescope has been in operation since September 2000, and it has been the most productive telescope in India and has more than paper to its credit. We have different instrument on the telescope, like the IR instrument that is done in collaboration with MKI Lab Hawaii. We have the HFOSC, the faint optic spectrograph camera, which is in collaboration with the Copenhagen University, Denmark. And then we have the high resolution Excels spectrograph that is in collaboration with the Kiwi Star Optics New Zealand. The telescope, when it was installed, this was the world highest telescope at that time in 2000. But then There are other telescope that has now become the highest. So right now we can say that the observatory is the third highest optical and infrared telescope in the world. It is basically located at 4,500 meter above sea level, so it's like practically half the atmosphere if you think. And uh, the other telescope that we have is the Growth Telescope, which is the Global Relay of Observatories watching transient happen. This telescope is installed in collaboration. It's sitting inside the dome, and it is installed in collaboration with IIT Bombay. And this is the earlier. I'm sorry, I missed it. This telescope, the Himalayan Chandra telescope, is a 2 meter class telescope. So the diameter of its primary mirror is 2 meter, and that's a Growth telescope. It is like 0.7 meter, and the Growth telescope is a robotic telescope, and both these telescopes are controlled from Bangalore and Mumbai, and so the scientists need not come all the way to the observatory. They can sit comfortably at their place, and they can observe the universe from their own region. The other thing we have the telescope is the Haggar Telescope. This is the Himalayan Gamma Ray Telescope, which is done in collaboration with the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai. Here we have 7 telescopes, each with 7 meters in a total area of 4.4 square meters. And this is one of the efficient gamma ray telescope at a high altitude. And then now we have this upcoming MACE telescope, which is the Major Atmospheric Telescope. And this telescope, it is in the commissioning phase, and it is the world largest telescope at the highest altitude. The diameter the diameter of the telescope is 21 meter. So hence it's called a 21-meter class telescope, and it is the world's second largest gamma ray telescope. And this telescope is the largest gamma ray telescope in the northern hemisphere, and it is the largest telescope in India right now. So the other collaborating institute other than is that we have like ISRO coming up with 2 telescope, one is an 1 meter class telescope, which will survey the space debris or the satellite, stationary satellite. And there's another telescope in collaboration with ISRO and RRI, there, which is a 3-meter telescope, and it will be in terahertz region. And we have an astronomy observatory with IIT Roorkee, and there are a lot more collaborations coming up at this observatory. So basically, this is an Google view of the telescope, and here this is the hill that is in the shape of a scorpion, and it has got a small tail here. So that's why it's called Dikparatsari, which is actually Scorpion Mountain. So the 2-meter Himalayan Chandra telescope and the GIT Growth India telescope is situated here, and the Haggar and the MACE are at the base of the foothills of the mountain. So this the one shown in white are like existing telescope, and then we have other telescope like the 2, as I mentioned, by ISRO. This is the Netra 1-meter telescope and the 3-meter class telescope for the terahertz region. So and then we have our own the large national large optical telescope, which will come very soon. This will be like a 10-meter class telescope, 10 meter or more. So and then we have a 1.5-meter PSMT that is coming up. This is a segmented mirror class telescope. So the Hanle region offers the best site for multi-wavelength ground-based astronomy and also atmospheric studies in the country. There's a strong need to preserve this region by adopting dark skies. And what are the collateral benefits is that we can, although we came 20 years back or 25 years back, but there are a lot of villages around this region which need to also survive. So it has got done by declaring it as a dark sky reserve. we will have like the villagers can also sustain, which they earlier they were like they were nomads and they were roaming along with herds, but now with the newer trend that the population is losing the nomadic thing. So, so here we, with the help of dark skies, we will promote astrotourism, and which will in fact help the local population also to sustain and get more income out of the astrotourism. So, this astronomy provides a numerous opportunity to catch the interest of young fellow, as we know that we always wondered seeing the skies, and a chance to combine the thrills of visiting new parts of the world with viewing the unknown world of space can be very exhilarating. And so this is the image in the background is of an meteor shower that was taken in 2018 by me. So most of the images are myself taken by me in Ladakh and mostly in Hanle. And you can also, along with all the it's not so very technical talk, but then you can also enjoy the images along with the information that I'm providing. So this astronomy can be, it can be introduced by publishing it as a nighttime activity for tourists who actually are daytime tourists and visiting very nice places in Ladakh, like the Nubra Valley, the high passes, Pangong Lake, Somoduri Lake, the other trek, Ralka Valley. And during the daytime they can travel, and nighttime they can visit, see the beautiful night sky of Ladakh. Hence, astrotourism provides an option that complements the traditional tourism, thereby it will attract more tourists. The reason to value night skies, we have this astronomy, obviously knowledge and outreach. So we have astrotourism, and we through curbing the light pollution, we can the energy efficiency, which I will later on I will tell more, and landscape beauty and appreciation, ecological integrity, human health, safety and security. Basically, the astro-tourism is quite catching up, and this is the most happening tourism activities nowadays. And um, so, what do we find from astronomy? Is like astronomy is beautiful. It has inspired many art, like this magnum opus of Van Gogh. It's called the Starry Nights, and so he actually made this was very much famous. And astronomy is enigmatic. It has led to many signs. So this is the observatory with the Milky Way Arch, and you can this is the on the bottom left. This is the image taken from this telescope of the Crab Nebula, a very long back in 2000 when it was incepted. Basically, we don't. This telescope is more for all the scientific research rather than showcasing this, because we don't have requisite filters to produce very beautiful night skies. So, why did we choose Hanle? Why is Hanle the best thing? There are numerous reasons which I can provide. It's like, yeah, this is as I earlier told you, it's a higher altitude above sea level. Like we are at 4,500 meters above sea level, and that is why that was one of the reason why it was chosen. And the clear skies at night. Hanle is actually situated in this in the leeward region of the Himalayas. So, as you know, in India there are mainly two types of monsoon. That is, one is the western disturbance, which come in winter, and it starts from the Mediterranean Sea, and then whatever deposit it has to, it actually falls on Srinagar, Himachal Pradesh, etc. And only lighter clouds pass across the Himalayas, and thus we get more number of clear skies at Hanle. And the other the monsoon is the southeast monsoon that comes in June, and most of the deposit, whatever precipitation it has to do, it happens in the Uttarakhand, Himachal, etc. And then we get less number of rain clouds, and hence the statistic is like that we get Totally cloud-free nights are around 180 out of 365 totally cloud-free clear nights. And then we have like other is the spectroscopic nights where we get 4 hours continuous clear nights. So that is like we get around 270 nights in a year, and hence we are like very much well placed to have good night sky there in the region. And we have being on the other side of the Himalayas, and also we have the atmosphere in the moisture is very less. Like the humidity level normally between 8 to 40, and hence it is very much dry and cold there. And because of this reason, we are able to do infrared observation also. Because unlike what happens when the infrared light from the sources they come in a very heavily moisture area or in the plains, it gets absorbed by the atmosphere, and hence we are not able to get the infrared sources. And that's why IAO is specifically placed so well that it's very dry, and we can do infrared observations here also. And we get very good transparency here. Transparency because it's less absorbed. Now I have got a very good story here. I would like to repeat it because it happened with me, and maybe people might have heard about it. When I initially in 1998 I joined, I was selected for this place. One of my neighbor aunts, she told me, "Oh, you are going to Hanle for your job." I said, "Yes." Oh, I recently went there, and then when I was about to reach there, I could see the monastery, but I was traveling. It was so far away that we were not able to reach. It was taking 2 hours from the place where she was able to, around 1.5 hours, where she could sight the monastery, but she was not able to reach. That is because of the. Later on, I realized it is because of the good transparency here in Ladakh, and especially in Hanle. The transparency is so good that you can see everything so clearly, and it looks like it's very much near to you. But once you start traveling, it's like the distance is more than you expect. So that is one of the reason. And obviously the last reason was that why we choose this place is away from the cities and even away from Leh city, is that it has very low light pollution, and this will be the main uh, uh, point where which I will emphasize is the light pollution. So this is the Hanle Monastery, which I was telling you. My aunt saw it from a very far distance, but she was not able to do. So the extreme light pollution in the rest of India points towards the potential of astronomy and astrotourism in Ladakh. So this is Ladakh is, as I told you, a geographical place such that we don't have major impact of the southeast monsoon and the western disturbance. So the light pollution on the night sky. So this is an image I took of in the Leh city itself, where we have this seven lines to pass, and then we have the Milky Way um, Arch rising beyond it. It was taken in June. It was taken in May. It was around 2 a.m. in the morning. So I could get, but now even Leh is like more light polluted, and it's difficult to get such a beautiful sky. And all this prompted us to think that. Basically, Ladakh is the only region where you can see such a beautiful sky, and we should not spoil it with too much of light pollution, being the only region all over India. So here, when I mention light, it is more about the artificial light and not the light coming from the stars. So many people think that all light is good light, and more light must be better. Obviously, it happens at every house. So, light pollution, what is light pollution? It is any light that is not needed and wasted and going up in the air. And it is the light which is shining in your eyes and annoying you. So, you can see this. This is a beautiful monastery in the in Leh region, and it is in the outskirts of Leh. It's around 40 kilometers from the main Leh city. So here you can see the monastery is completely illuminated by light, and we cannot see it very well. So what happened? I was very lucky, and obviously I planned it well because this was taken some 4 to 5 years back, and not even 4 to 5, maybe around 6 to 7 years back. And I knew that around 11 o'clock the lights will be going, and then it did happen. So the next shot I took was when the light actually went off, and you can see the difference, how beautiful it is. So we can get a very good uh, view of the monastery as well as the stars. And this is the Ursa Major, and this is pointing towards the pole star. So this is a beautiful image which I always like to showcase to see the difference of the night sky. And I was in fact like lucky to get this image. But now with the advent of good light and good source of light in all over Ladakh, it's difficult to time it such a way that we get such a beautiful we can experiments like this. So you can see the green and the orange are actually air glow, and which our eyes cannot see. But yeah, the electronic, the camera, DSLR camera, they can catch it. Basically, it's an effect in the atmosphere where oxygen gets recombined, and in the night it gets released, and hence there's this air glow that the camera can capture. This is something similar, but it is not. This green light is not the aurora that we often see in the northern and southern hemisphere, very north, high up, and very down south. But they are similar, but low intensity. Aurora can be seen through naked eyes also. And so this is a wonderful light pollution map. This is called the light pollution map, where the red shows the intensity where it's the harshest, and the gray area shows whether there is very less light pollution. So more than half of the world where they are inhabited, they lives in an urban environment, and two-thirds of the population cannot see the Milky Way from where they live. And this is a comparison image that I got from the light in pollution map.info. See, this image was taken in 2012, and you can see the light pollution of our own country. So this is around Delhi and Bangalore, Chennai, etc. So you can see it's light polluted, and next into 2020, it made a vast difference, and it's more light polluted. And obviously the thing is that light pollution is growing at the rate it's a very uh, big rate, like in developing countries, like it is going it's going at a rate of like 10%, whereas the global light pollution growth rate is 2% only, which is actually outstripping the population growth also. So, right, and this has happened because uh, over the year the LED lights became cheaper, and they were like more. Um, the intensity was too much, and hence the effect. So okay, this here this is the close-up of the light pollution map of our own country. So you can see all this red and yellow images. I remember once many years back uh, I was flying in a night, and although the flight somehow it was a very low level, so I was flying from here to Hyderabad, and throughout, and I was interested in seeing if there is any region which is like devoid of any light. And whatever I saw is that the whole region, it was interconnected with light. So it was so much light polluted that I could not actually, from an aeroplane, although it's very far away, some dark region, I could not see anyone. So, and this is a close up of the light pollution map of North India. So this represent Leh city, and this is Kargil, and this is why we are placed here. We have come so far away from the light pollution, and this is where the observatory is located. That is Hanle region. This is the furthest we can go, and we are right now next to China, and this is the city of China. It's called Ali. So I'm sorry, I did not mention it here. I thought I had, but Hanle is here for the reference. And the amateur astronomer like John E. Waters had actually he has created a scale to measure the actually to classify the night sky. So there it's called the Bortle scale because he created it, and it consists of 9 scale. And this is like a very light polluted city like Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, and this is what we will find in Hanle region, something like that. I'll show you more images of the same. So this is the light pollution level 8, and cities like Delhi, Mumbai, where the only celestial event we can see is a bigger planet or like Jupiter, Saturn, or an Venus, or an aeroplane moving in the sky. That's the only thing that is visible. And and this is another city suburban transition level 6, bright suburban skies. This is suburban skies, and you can see more stars are visible. And this is a light pollution level 4, and this is a suburban rural transition. And next, we have this rural skies where from far away we can see the city lights, and this is called the city glow, basically. In fact, people have actually seen through aeroplane that the city glow can be seen from 300 kilometers away. So that's how, and you can see here the city lights. Actually, there are no stars visible because of the glow of the city. This is a very dark sky, and this is what this is water level 1. That's the only skies, and although I may have this is a single shot, and I may have even more exposure, but this is the condition that we can see. And the Milky Way there at Hanle, even most part of the Ladakh, except the Leh city, it's like fantastic. One should definitely visit all these areas, and on a new moon period, plus minus 5 7 days, not on a full moon day because the full moon is very very bright. Even a 15% full moon is 5 times brighter than all the brightest skies stars that we see. This is an time lapse that I did from evening to the morning. And this is a beautiful time lapse that I have. And here I will ask the viewers to just notice actually the transition of the day to night sky and the beautiful night Milky Way along with the observatory. And also, you can see there are some lights getting reflected, getting reflected on the dome, mean 2 meter dome. And those are the headlights which are coming from very, very far away, like maybe around 7 to 8 kilometers, and that's how we are getting. There are a lot of interference caused by the same, and start the movie. This is the time lapse which I took 2 years back. You can see the transition, Milky Way emerging along with Jupiter and Saturn. So this is the observatory, the dome, telescope and dome are actually discovering the unknowns. They're watching the stars, observing. So this is the Indian Astronomical Observatory up ahead, and yeah, thank you for watching. Uh, so basically, it's all about light pollution. So how do we curb light pollution? So, and in the image on the right side, you can see how we should actually curb light pollution. We should not have this type of street lights installed, because most of the lights is actually wasted and it's causing the glow and glare in the eyes, and we cannot see any stars in the here. And on the other hand, if we direct the light wherever we want and wherever it is needed, so we can easily see the beautiful stars and and basically it's also economically very effective. So in order to have that, we have to have a very efficient, comprehensive light management plan, which has to be adopted, and we should encourage the use of outdoor lights only when necessary. And we should use curtains from the windows, and all the vehicles should use low beam lights and while moving in the night, because other than causing glare and it might cause many accidents also. So hence, it is we should have this light management plan, and it should be adopted by everybody. So here there is an example of light recessing done and not done. So this is an image of a petrol pump where the light is actually thrown on the outside, and the second image that we have is the lighting done very recess lighting done very well. So here you can see on the top side, you can see it's like annoying your eyes, and it's not very well, and not well directed, and it's like totally it's well as the one, it's very soothing and you can easily see everything in the image. And there is this city which they did some conservation, and the top one is in when it was light polluted, and then they curbed all the lights, and they also made something like that all the street light will only will come down when it is less used, like at 11 p.m. it will come down. And so because there are not much people who are using it, so and people can effectively and enjoy the night sky. And there are many species, wildlife also, which including human, which needs darkness to survive and thrive. Basically, the American Medical Association, they have made big research, and they have seen that there are a lot of, it's very harmful also, light pollution. The image on the background is the comet Neowise in 2020. So you can see the observatory here, and the comet Neowise with its two iron tail and dust tail. This is the iron tail and dust tail in the frame, and I took it from like 2-3 kilometers far away. Hence, the respective image, the size of the comet as well as the observatory can be seen. So humans have always evolved to a rhythm of natural day and light and dark cycle of the day and night, but now we are like we need more light. So it's a very, it has harmful effect on the wildlife. Also, there are many studies which have shown that turtles are actually although they had to go towards the sea, but then because of the light they tend to go to sea when the moonlight is there. But then uh, now the studies have shown that they are coming towards the land, where because of the glare and the light, and then they are getting there are a lot of accident, and they are getting killed on the roads, etc. And it has and the other things that it has other effect on the wildlife. Like Hanle region is very well known for its because of the wetlands, and it's a home to many wildlife. And animal and plants also live by a rhythm based on a 24-hour cycle. Wildlife can become very much disoriented by too much artificial light at night, and it interferes with their migration, mating, foraging for food, sleep. Because if they cannot have proper sleep, then they won't be able to hunt very well, and they won't have proper rest also. So light pollution actually it is very harmful for them, and also it's a major health concern for the humans also, because as you can see here, person when the light trespasses into the in the house, and we get some glare, and we don't get proper sleep because of the glare in the our eyes can be blinding and reduce our night vision. New research is being done to discover the impact of our biological clocks And what actually when the light, what actually happens? It disturbs the circadian rhythm. Basically, the nighttime exposure to artificial light suppresses melatonin production. Basically, what is melatonin? It's like it has antioxidant properties, and it induces it induces sleep and boosts the immune system, lower cholesterol, and helps the functioning of thyroid, pancreas, ovaries, testes, and adrenal glands. There are many researches that have shown that because of artificial light, we have a lot of all this disease, I think breast cancer in women, even uh, pancreatitis, etc. Because of light pollution. I don't remember what is in the name. Brighter light does not mean safer, actually. More light does not makes us safer, which is the contrary whenever we put light because we think that it makes us relatively safe. It just gives us a false sense of security. Improper shielding can actually cause shadows, allowing perpetrators to take advantage of the hiding spots which we cannot see. And many research have shown that street light does not prevent any accident or crime, but it costs us lots of money. And glare in our eyes due to bright headlights can be blinding and reduce our night vision. The image in the background is a single image that I took near my house in Leh. So here you can see because of the light pollution coming from the Leh city, everything is like glowing and we are not able to see clearly. But on the other side, which is like a rural area, you can see all the stars and even the Scorpion constellation coming up very well. So that is the impact of the light pollution that we have, which is shown in a single image. And non-shielded lights are very unsafe. So you can see in a university campus, they have put the lights, but it's not. And the glaring lamp to the right of the path was actually installed to protect the students at night. But the same when we take the same image, we cannot see the student, but the student is there. So that's what improper lighting causes a harsh shadow too. But the student is there in the frame, and as you can see, he's hiding under the lamppost because it is causing too much of harsh shadow also. So you can see too much bright light is glare, and hence it causes harsh shadow also. So street light actually, if not they are not well properly directed, it can cause it can be a disadvantage also. So research light is economical too. Basically, as I told you earlier, the light pollution is growing at the rate. And in Tucson, Arizona, where they have a 500,000 population, they have retrofitted the light and they have brought down the light pollution by 8%. And they could save like $8.1 million per year in energy costs. So light becomes cheap also. It is like economical and profitable also. There are many ways to use light responsibility, like pointing it down, using warmer color bulbs. Like mainly we emphasize in the dark sky century, the light should be in the yellow region and which is less harmful to people rather than white or blue light, which is very harmful, as I earlier told you about all the melatonin production and circadian rhythm. So why reserve a dark sky? Dark sky is a public or private land that has an exceptional or distinguished quality of fairy sky lights and an nocturnal environment that is protected for its scientific, natural, or educational value, its cultural heritage, or public enjoyment. And this is a very lovely image. Just I took in the morning. So here what you can see the Milky Way Arch. Basically, it's a panorama of many images. Like I remember, it was 36 image showcased here. So this is the Milky Way, and this is the Dark Horse Nebula in the shape, and this is the Scorpion constellation with the Antares. And the beautiful thing about this image was this is Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, and the Moon with the this is called the Moon dog. So it creates a halo, a 22-degree halo around the moon, and then there are like it's like 2 3 moons also glowing. So this is a very beautiful image that was done. So we have many dark sky reserve places around the world, but non-existing here. Basically, there's one in China which is not known. Maybe I've taken a very images. But most of the, as you can see, most of the developed countries, then they've now uh, realized the importance of curbing the light pollution, and now they have lot of places which they specifically created so that people can enjoy the night sky. It's like it can be a sanctuary, it can be a dark sky reserve, dark sky park, etc. So we are also planning to have one soon, and I bet many more can come because if they can do it in the all these places, we can also do it all over India. And the dark sky reserve must provide an exceptional dark sky resource where the night sky brightness at the zenith is routinely equal or darker than 21.5 magnitude per square arc second in visual band. So this Hanle Dark Sky Reserve plan to cover a radius of 22 kilometers. And in the Hanle Dark Sky Reserve, we have planned along with the UP administration and Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, which are the other partners. So a visitor center is being planned, which will include an observatory for tourist usage and a mobile planetarium museum, and have many showcase on souvenir shops which will showcase the local products, etc. And we also plan to introduce cultural astronomy. Basically what is happening is that we are forgetting, earlier all these people used to be nomad and then they used to follow certain star paths, etc. But now people, while talking to people here, they are forgetting it because the elders, they have not given, or even the younger ones, they were not bothered, but their elders do. Now that they are just following the either the dates or how they are like. If the grasses get extinct at one place, the nomad will just go to another place. So this all this type of things, the stories or the night sky association is soon disappearing, which we have to conserve also. So even in our bordering region, like China has established the first dark sky reserve astronomical observation in the picture of Nari, which I've just shown, which is just our neighbor. So together with our neighbor, and because Hanle is on the border, we can jointly impact how we see the stars, and the night sky will be more darker here. So the Hanle Dark Sky Reserve will be the India's first dark sky reserve and will attract many tourists and also astronomical institutions from India and abroad. Basically, more initially we used to have a lot of collaboration coming from outside, but then the all the visiting scientists from abroad, they were not able to go because of the restriction due to the border. But now it will be easy for them, so it won't be a problem because in 2019 uh, permits things were relaxed, and now people can our domestic people can easily visit without any permits also. So this is the map of the Hanle Dark Sky Reserve, which we propose. This is the observatory. This is the total region that we will do. So what is the benefit? So there's a lot of employment generation for the villagers, students, tourists, both tourism, wildlife, tourists will be more attracted towards this. More homestays, resort will come up, and it will be like a model program. And I'm sure there are lot places even in our own India where we can follow it up, and we can save our natural heritage. That is the starry skies. So what can we do to preserve all the night skies? So before I start that, I will just give you this is the Haggar Telescope taken in a night. So there are 7 telescope in a hexagon formation, and this is the Milky Way Arch, and this is at the foothills of the observatory. And very proud to tell you that this is a solar panel, and we are a very complete green observatory, and we haven't used any diesel power generator for the last 20 years for our observations. And what can we or I do? We can shield our lights. We can use motion sensors near house and delineators on the road. We can use lower wattage bulbs, save electricity and CO2 emissions. Use warmer colored bulbs like yellow and amber instead of white. We can develop local partnerships, lighting projects, etc. And most importantly, we can appreciate and enjoy the night sky and teach and share with others. These are like just last September, last October, we had amateur astronomers coming from Bangalore and other parts of the country. They came with their own telescopes and binoculars, and here you can see a person with a telescope and his laptop sitting and observing the night skies. And the same person which is here. So the obviously with the formulation of the night Hanle Dark Sky Reserve, more people can come and enjoy the night sky here. And this is the one of my images of the comet Neowise, which everybody liked. Even I liked it because this is from my own village. This is some my house is somewhere here, and this is the Spituk Monastery, that our own village monastery, where all the monks reside, and they have this prayer halls and the mass dance ground here. So this is another image that this is a 360-degree image that this is a very one of the largest glacier, that is the Darangdurung Glacier, and we have the Milky Way Arch here, and the Mars is just rising here. Saturn was here, and at the time Jupiter was here. So these are the reference if you want to see. I got some of the informations also other than my own images. And the summary, act before it is too late. We have to conserve our natural heritage, and starting with the Hanle Dark Sky Reserve. And this is a star trail image of 6 hours, where the camera was constantly shooting in one direction, and because of our Earth rotation, we can see the trails from by the stars. This is like if it is a full circle, which cannot happen because we have day and night. It is 24 hours, and this one, like if it is even if it is a quarter, it's a 6 hours, so it's a 6 hours image. If it is like totally half, then it will be 12 hours, which can be possible in winters only, because in summer when I took this image, the night sky was like for 7 to 8 hours. Thank you. I hope everybody might have enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for the inspirational lecture and the spectacular images, visuals. So wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we'll take some questions. Those who have a question can raise your hand, and when I call out your name, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Or if you want, you can type your question on the chat box. I can read it out. So I can see 2 hands. S. Shankara Narayana, can you unmute yourself and ask? S. Shankara Narayana, can you please ask the question? Unmute yourself, please.
Thanks a lot for the excellent information. Please let us know which month will be the best time to visit this Hanle Dark.
Yeah, basically, it all depends. Like if you want to see the Milky Way, starting from May till September, October, you can see it very beautifully.
Okay.
And the weather is also favorable during those times. Rest of the time it will be very cold, and it's very difficult to go outside. Or just you can go out for 10 minutes and then you will have to rush back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tarun Ramba, can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
Thank you for the great talk. It was very informative. I too had a similar question, but I also wanted to know what. So, is homestays the best way to stay nearby and go around?
Yes, indeed. The homestays are there are quite a few of them, and more will be coming up as we go, because we want it to be in a phased manner. More will be coming up. Then those are the best places that you can stay, and Those are also in the village, and basically it's a cluster of village around the observatory. So every place in Hanle is like very beautiful and quite dark.
And do we have to notify someone at the observatory on
In
about when we visit?
yeah, there are at the observatory, because it is purely scientific research, we don't have the facility. But in the village, there are like we are having provision of having some telescope which we can people can go and see the sky, watch the skies.
I see.
And also, if anybody wants to see the beautiful night sky, the other thing that I would like to mention here, that please make it like new moon plus minus 7 days, where you can watch it more beautifully.
Yeah. Thank you.
Gopinath, can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
So actually, what are these? The colorful spirals? Like big spirals things.
Oh yeah. This is like simply, basically, the star does not move; they are fixed. But as you know, our Earth rotates, isn't it? So when we use a telescope, the telescope is made to move such that it compensates to the star, and hence we can take a singular image which is not having trail. But if you don't use any telescope or tracker, or if you just keep on clicking the star, because of our Earth motion, the star will always be leaving a trail image, and it won't be pinpoint. And hence here I've kept the camera stationary to look into the sky, and thus the star trails are formed. This is a type of photography for which can be done through a DSLR camera, and with an timer intervalometer. Yeah, I hope you got it.
Yeah, okay.
We have school children also amongst us. We had encouraged everyone to, attend the lecture.
Yeah.
So thank you for explaining so well. Vidya Sagar, could you unmute yourself and ask the question?
Yeah, hello. Oh, it's
Hello.
a very nice lecture and very quite informative.
Thank you.
Just what I want to know is, can anybody visit your Hanle observatories and then say, for example, observe, for a night or so, something like that? Is it possible?
No, as I told you, like we are a purely scientific research organization. But yeah, now we along with the UT government and the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, we are in the process of getting more telescope, and we will place the telescope. There are like community telescope, some 8-inch telescope that will be placed in the houses, homestays, and obviously the visitor center will have a bigger telescope. And yeah, people can use that as time comes. But at the observatory, yeah, we are like into serious research, scientific research only, and hence we don't have the telescope for outreach purposes.
So if anybody wants to come there, they have to come to the villages nearby Hanle. That's the only option right now.
And yeah, in fact, we want the villagers to get benefited. We being an outsider to the place, and that is the main proposal for this system.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Manasi, can you ask a question?
Hi, thank you. My question is that you spoke about a dark sky policy. Is it already in the works, and what will it mean for the Hanle region in Ladakh?
Yeah, basically, yeah, we are working on all the modalities like the light. Basically, it is about the light management plan mostly. In fact, other than that, even now, without it, it is very beautiful, and it's like very less light polluted. But in fact, as you know, there's a lot of development. We want to have an basic control over the light uh, and not later on repent why we didn't do anything about it, and also get the villagers to benefit about it. So even if you come now, you can have you can enjoy the night sky, and even with or without telescope. Even without telescope is such beautiful, so you will always enjoy this place. Maybe my network is bad quality. I'll just stop my camera and stop my presentation also.
Yeah, so I'll take a few questions from the chat box, then we can come back to the raised hands. I think I saw somewhere whether the observation is possible from the desert. Somewhere there I saw a question in the talk.
Hold on, let me open my doc. So the observatory, here there was a question like, is it open for general public? So obviously you can visit the facility during daytime, but once with sunset, the observatory itself will be closed because we don't want disturbance because it is on a hillock. So there are a lot of we don't want any vehicles with lights coming up all the way and get disturbing the already ongoing observations. But it is open for general public during daytime. They can see the telescope and even see some images that has been taken from the telescope.
So there is a question from Harshil Gupta. Thar Desert is not a possible candidate. Probably they're asking about the observation of the stars from the desert.
Yeah, I've seen many beautiful pictures coming from obviously in Rajasthan. So it is possible if there is no light, it is possible. But the advantage of Hanle, as I told you, it's like because of the less moisture in the air, which does not absorb the light coming from the stars.
One question from Subhendu Malakar: can we set up our own telescope in the proposed Hanle Dark Sky Reserve?
The main problem in Hanle region is the bandwidth. Yes, you can come as I showed the amateur astronomers coming from all over the India. They come with their own telescope, they set up and they observe and they take back the telescope. But for having placing your own telescope, that maybe in the coming days I can foresee that people can put up a telescope in collaboration with the villagers or whoever is interested, and you can do remote control. But right now the bandwidth is not sufficient for the same purpose, and even electricity it comes at when it's dark, like 6 7, and then it goes off at 11 o'clock, which is helpful also because after 11 there is no light polluting us in from the village, which is very less also. But also disadvantage to somebody who comes with a telescope, and they will then they should have some backup also to run the telescope, like a battery or a UPS, etc.
Devarajulu, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? I think he's typed a question.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe I'll just ask the question.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much on the very good presentation, and thank you for keeping that Hanle area pollution free, light pollution free.
Yeah.
Of course, the tourism and resorts coming up will help the region economically and help the villages. But other than light pollution, it may bring some other problems of the increased traffic there. So
that's a very
something else.
That's a very good point. In fact, that's why we are taking some time to look into all the modalities because it obviously the villagers should get benefit, but it should not also grow, which is like beyond control, and hence the light pollution thing is there management plan, and also we want to ensure that the vehicles can come, but vehicles there used to, if you remember, there used to be a sticker which you can put on the car headlights, and so that the beam does not come. The beam does not come up. So we thought about introducing such things, and we also introducing some delineators on the roadside so that people can find the roads path easily. Are you foreseeing any other thing which obviously it will be a good feedback for me?
So other pollutions, like not only light pollution, like the gas pollution or the cultural pollution or the legal pollution. I mean, when something is introduced in a place, there are a lot of unknown things that can happen. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
a place
Exactly.
not
Yes.
executed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Other
right.
than light pollution.
Other than light pollution, yeah, obviously, but we cannot stop development also, but we are trying to control it. I hope we are able to do that. And basically, after introducing the light management plan, basically, with the talk we have found, obviously the villagers will be the one who will be volunteering, monitoring the same, not us, not the authorities. Like obviously, because the villagers are getting benefited, so we are expecting it to be like uh, that it will be in control.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions? I think there's Shubhamoy Mitra. Can you ask your question? And whoever is sharing your screen, can you just stop this share? I'm not able to see who's sharing the screen. Shubhamoy, can you just ask your question? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So, sir, my question is, I mean, can you let us know, are there any upcoming events in the night sky that we should look out for?
Yeah, but what I just, in fact, remember is that there's a beautiful conjunction that is happening around 27th morning. The Milky Way will be there, and the crescented moon in the same direction, and even Venus and Mars too. Obviously, one or more planet. Venus is there, but one more planet is there. Either is Mars or Jupiter. That will be a very beautiful sight to behold. And regarding solar lunar eclipse, it will be as far as I know from Ladakh, it's not visible for 1 or 2 years. That is there, and yeah, that's what I remember right now.
Thank you, sir.
Are there any more questions?
I have one question. Can I ask?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, I'm Rocktim. It is a very nice presentation. I wanted to know, since the Hanle region is kind of near the border areas, I think there should be a lot of like military buildups and all. I think is it affecting the area or something like that?
Obviously, yeah, yeah, you're well aware of that. Yeah, obviously, being quite on the border, there are military presence, and once we are hoping that the military organization, they are like very disciplined organization. So once we notify it, obviously they will maintain the sanctity of the light pollution and bring it down in the near future. And also here, whenever they come to our observatory, we request them that this sort of things are affecting us, and they were very kind to put it down and to change the direction wherever we request it. So like they are very cooperating.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I think there are no more questions for now. So, okay, there is one more question. Do you conduct any events for amateur astronomers in Hanle? A question from Vidya Sagar.
Yeah, obviously, we plan to do it, and it will definitely get notified. We plan to conduct some star parties, etc. And also, obviously, this event kickstarting the same will be also done in future also.
Kirti, can you please ask your question?
Hello, Dr. Singh. I have a friend who is very, very passionate about amateur astronomy. He wants to set up his telescope permanently in Hanle. Would it be possible?
Yeah, that's what I did. So basically that's what I told in the earlier answers was like the main problem right now is the bandwidth and the electricity. Once these things are sorted, we will definitely think about people hosting remote observatories there also, because it's such a fantastic skies there. And obviously because of the night sky quality, as you know, being an amateur astronomer, it's so good that we should not lose that opportunity too.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I have been to Hanle, and it is a really magical place. Yeah, thanks for all your help for that.
Thank you.
If there is no more question, we'll close it for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Dorje Angchuk. Thank you so much for, first of all, for accepting our invitation and for giving this wonderful talk. I'm sure all of us have been inspired to watch the sky and to visit Hanle also. Thank you so much, and thank you for all your effort in preserving the night skies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorje.
Thank you.